the only Juan Galan with me in the house, well, on Zoom, today for my business spotlight. I cannot wait to share with you all about his story. And honestly, we were just jibber jabbering before we came on, and I was like, no, we've got to stop talking. This is juicy, juicy stuff. We've got to share this because oh, wait till you hear all about his business. I am just so excited. Welcome, Juan.
Thank you so much, Elena. Thanks for that lovely introduction. I'm really excited to be here.
Oh, me too, me too. Okay, without further ado, let's get into it, will we?
Let's do it.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Yes.
I'm dying to hear your story, and I've heard already quite a bit, if I'm honest, but I want other people to hear your story. Um, it's so good, but can you share with everyone, like, why did you decide to start your business?
So I started my business really, if you can say it was a business back in 2012. So 2012 when Instagram first came out, I knew that I always wanted to do something up on my own. And one of my biggest passions in life is traveling. Well, traveling, and then also I love my family. And when I was working at corporate jobs, it was hard to do both because I'm from Colombia, but I live in Spain. So I could only see my family like every 2 years, coming back to Colombia, and then traveling, well, just once or twice per year. And when Instagram first came out, I started seeing more and more people starting to make a living from Instagram, and actually traveling and getting paid for it. And I was like, how are they doing that? It was something that was not very well known, and there were no resources online on how to like make a living from Instagram. So I just thought, okay, I just need to get a bunch of followers, and maybe that's how you get started. So that was my first mistake because followers don't equal success or sales or freedom. Um, what I did was I started buying followers just because I wanted to get that number up, and doing a lot of shady tactics like follow for follow. I joined engagement pods. I bought a bot that was where I automated processes like commenting, following, liking. So I did all these wrong things, and I did grow that account to like 33,000 followers, but obviously it wasn't doing anything for me. I wasn't monetizing, and I didn't have a community. And then I realized that I had made a huge mistake, so I had to close that account down. And I started researching what other people were doing at that time. So that I started in 2012. This was more around 2018. So I had already been doing that for a couple of years with no like tangible results. And I kept seeing people being successful on Instagram and more people doing it. And I was like, I started just looking at them, what they were doing, and I noticed that they were really strong in community in the community aspect. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna start building a strong community. So I started reaching out to people, commenting in their posts, building relationships in the DMs, and I started to build a strong community. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that this was my second account after I closed down the first one. And both of these accounts were in the lifestyle travel niche because, as I said, I love travel, and my goal was to get paid to travel. And I started to build this community, but it took me like 2 years to get to like 10,000 followers, and I had a strong community, I had great engagement, but still I wasn't making any money from it. So I was still missing something there. Missing I wasn't hitting the mark with my Instagram. So I couldn't, even though I considered as part of my business journey, it still wasn't a business. And then COVID happened, and I think that was a pivotal point for so many people, because there was this new surge in online educators. A lot of people that were stuck in their homes started to teach what they knew online, most specifically on TikTok and Instagram. And I had this background in marketing, so I had been working in marketing also since 2012 for corporate businesses and startups. And I also had this experience in building communities and building an Instagram. I knew what you shouldn't do from my first account, and I knew what you should do from my second account. And then I had all the marketing and sales knowledge. So I started teaching people or just sharing what I knew with my audience, with my travel community. Because I thought, well, maybe some of them want to like grow their Instagram and make money from their Instagram. So I learned how to create content. So I started teaching them or sharing that knowledge with them, and people started asking me questions. I got my first coaching clients like that. But since that account was focused on travel and photography, uh, the algorithm wasn't really on my side because I literally went from sharing travel content to sharing social media and content creation tips. So even though I was getting clients, uh, my account stopped growing and I wasn't reaching enough people. So that's when in 2021 I decided to give it one more shot and started my third account from scratch, and that's where I founded IG Creator Academy, and it has been a great success since then. I've grown a massive community. I've launched products, services. I've worked with brands, and all this happened in the lapse of 2 years. So that's a little bit of my story and how I got to where I am. But I've always had that like vision of doing something for myself and having my own business because I was never happy or satisfied or fulfilled with the jobs that I had. I was always I'm a high achiever, but I would like dedicate myself to it and like give my everything for the first month. And after the 6 month, I was like, I'm bored at this job. It's not fulfilling me. And then I was switching from job to job to job until I found my thing with Instagram.
Oh, wow. That is so interesting. And I think quite often what people don't realize is it can take time because what you're now selling is the solution to the mistakes that you made, and
Yes.
so that people can actually get there faster or easier with you because they don't have to do and make the mistakes that you made. Like already I can hear like exactly how you understood like I can't actually build an audience when it's a different audience. I've spent like of 10,000 people of the wrong audience here, like it's yeah, so inspiring. My next question then is, so like what do your clients tell you, like what happens to them when they start working with you? So like yeah, and I'm going to keep it as broad as that actually, because I bet you it's not just they grow their account. I bet you it's deeper than that.
Yeah. I focus a lot on encouraging them, and I focus a lot on the mindset. And for a lot of them, it's just like having this shift in the way they were doing things and seeing things and getting so much clarity. For some of them, it's been like actually starting to make money from their Instagram when they weren't making any money before or having successful launches. But I do believe that everything comes down to the mindset and how committed they are. But yeah, basically that I would say that it's just like transformation in the way they approach their business with a different mindset, with a different point of view, and feeling motivated. That's what I wanted to say. I really motivate my students, and I love seeing them succeed, and I love getting just really sweet messages from them of how a simple thing that we worked on or that we did changed a huge aspect in their business or their lives.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've done one of your courses, so I know that to be true because I remember being very overwhelmed one day and then arriving into a call and gosh, I got so much done. Um, so mindset. It like is that or are there other common issues that crop up when you're working with your clients? What else do you think is happening for them?
Can you explain that question a little bit more, please?
Sure. Like if like do you like is it just their Instagram or like what common issue do they kind of go, oh like I just can't do this or Like I really want to, like, is it always the monetizing or, is it
Okay, gotcha.
overwhelm? What do you think it
Gotcha.
is?
Gotcha. So when
Particularly,
I
I love, sorry, the reason I love asking this question is because a lot of people who I work with, um, they like need to get to the crux of that. And I often find that if you can find a common issue, that you can help your people overcome that, well, it works really well in your content, doesn't it? Um, so what is it for you? Or like what is that like thing that they just want from you?
almost most people come to me with the goal of learning how to market their business with content on Instagram. Although I did start as an Instagram coach and I feel like I've evolved into more of a holistic social media marketing business coach because I really teach from my experience and as an entrepreneur, I've grown so much. I just not do Instagram anymore. But what I've noticed that most people struggle with, even though they some might just want to grow on Instagram or some just want to make more money. But I feel is that most of them are struggling with, and that is like a common pain point, is the lack of confidence in themselves, and the fact that I know that the people that come to me are already experts in what, like they know their stuff, they know how they've know how to maybe coach people, they know how to they know what they know. That's but they don't know how to communicate that properly through content, which causes a lack in confidence and self-doubt and limiting beliefs to come up, think that they're not good enough. So that's what I've noticed. So what I really try to focus on is teaching them how to create better content that really shows the experts that they are through different strategies, or just I know, for example, something that I struggled with was copy. So I've studied copywriting. So now I know that learning copywriting makes you more confident in the way that you create content. So I teach them that. But yeah, it comes down to really a lack of confidence in not knowing how to communicate the real value they have.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I agree with you. I totally agree. Um, and like, is that the part that you enjoy the most? Like seeing them, like seeing your clients just overcome these issues? What part of the business is your favorite part?
I love the connection to people, to be honest. Well, you are part of one of my programs, and the calls that we did were always so fulfilling to me. And I'm sure that I know that when we ended calls, you were feeling like motivated and you were feeling inspired, and so did I. So I feel like I get that energy from my students, and it's just like I feel fulfilled and I feel happy. So I love that part, and just really knowing that I am creating a positive impact in their lives, even in the smallest tiny detail. That's the most fulfilling part, more than having like a huge audience or making money. Obviously, that also motivates you. But just knowing that you are helping people is really what keeps me going.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're so much on the same page.
Yeah. And the human connection, because again,
Yeah, yeah,
you can
yeah.
have a massive audience, but if you don't have a connection with them, like a real human connection, then what's the point?
So tell me then, who in business inspires you?
Oh, I love this question. I do have a lot of people that inspire me, but the top ones would be Amy Porterfield. If you know her, she's
Yeah.
like a huge online entrepreneur. Her podcast is amazing, and she's just the sweetest person. I've been in her programs, I've been in calls with her, and she's just so sweet and so inspiring and so real. And I love people like that. And also, Alex Hormozi, I actually discovered him maybe like a year ago, and I love everything he's done. His story is super inspiring, and everything he has achieved, and his mind, the way that he talks about business is really inspiring. Um, Who else? I think those are the two top ones that come to the right now to my mind. But I'm always like finding new people to follow, to look up to, not only in business but also I'm really into self and personal development. So I'm always listening to podcasts, reading books that help me on this aspect. And there's a lot of people that I follow right now on that. Because I think that as entrepreneurs, yes, learning about business is really important. But I was listening to a podcast this morning that said that success is 5% strategy and 95% mindset. And it's so freaking true. So if we don't work in our mindset and our personal development and having like being emotionally strong, mentally strong, then we're never going to be able to build a thriving business.
That is so true. Like, you've got to believe in yourself, like, and if you can't believe that you will succeed because you can't imagine your future self. Like, you can't
Yeah.
unless you believe. Almost
Yeah.
like, that Indiana Jones movie or any kind of like where they step off the cliff and there's a bridge. You have to believe that when you step off that you're going to be able to continue, don't you? Like, it's so important to believe that. Otherwise,
Exactly.
why would you continue?
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
oh wow. Well then I just think my next question is going to be, what advice would you give a new business owner on how to find clients? It sounds like mindset and that self-belief is central to what you might advise people. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, absolutely. First, you do need to have a plan. Need to commit to that plan, whether that is to, like create content consistently on LinkedIn or any online channel where because that's where you actually get the clients, right? It's not like just think that you're gonna get clients and then you get them. You need some kind of action, a plan, and and like take action. But you do need to believe that you are going to get clients and that you are going to serve people with love, with passion, with integrity, and you need to repeat to yourself that every single day. The more you do it, the more that you will train your mind to believe that, and then the more that you'll attract that into your life. But at the same time, you need to, as I said, you need a plan and you need to take action. Whether people, you can get clients really anywhere these days. You can get clients on Instagram or LinkedIn, like you do, or just from your blog or from YouTube. So you need that commitment to be consistent in your content creation and your content output. And but again, the mindset part is really important because at the beginning, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle. It's going to be hard. So if you let those negative thoughts dominate you, then you're never going to get anywhere. So you just need to believe that you will get there and that every single thing, every single step, like every piece of content that you put out or every email that you send or every DM that you send to someone is taking you a step closer to your goal of getting, I don't know, let's say that you want to get 10 clients by the in the first quarter. You also need that kind of tangible goal to kind of like attach yourself to, because it's if you say, oh, I just want to get clients, then well, yeah, well, that's just very vague. I want to get 10 clients by this time. This is my plan, and I'm gonna get them. And just believe that you're gonna get them. And every single step that you do every single day is getting you closer to that goal.
Yes, 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 yes. I agree. That is such good advice because it's the belief, but it's the positivity and the action.
And
It's
the
the
action.
action, you've got to take the actions,
Yeah.
don't you?
I'm a firm believer in manifestations, and I've been studying that a lot this past year, and I have manifested things. But the thing with manifestations is that people think that, or people who think that it doesn't work is because they just say, "Oh, I'm just gonna manifest more money." But first, more money is just very big, as I was saying before. And it's not just about sitting and thinking about it every day. No, yes, you have to think about it every day, but you need to take action every day, doing something that's gonna get you closer to that. So, that's one of the biggest mistakes that or misconceptions that people have about these things.
Yeah, 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 exactly, exactly. Okay. what about like what advice, like knowing what you know now, like gosh, like that's over, like it's a 12-year journey to where you are now, and like you definitely have, the business has evolved, like and like you, as you spoke at the top of our conversation, like it, there was a bit of a roller coaster there. Like what would be the advice that you, like if you could look back to 2012, I know it's a bit cheesy, but anyway, uh like would you have like your best advice, or like a little nugget um where you went from one level, like we were just talking about there, you were just saying, it's going to be a struggle at the beginning, like how did you get your business to go from one level to the next level? And like, what would you say? Okay, guys, well, like I think in a way, some of what you've already said is it's not just about followers,
Mm.
like in terms of like content and your own experience, what was the step change, or is there something you could say, hey, like that would be a good thing in terms of fine mindset, self-belief, manifesting, taking the action, but like was there something specific that you go, yeah, you've got to have this, or you've got to do
Yeah,
that?
I love that question. And I just want to point out that throughout my entire journey and even up to today, there are still times where I struggle. There are still challenging times, and I don't think that those challenges will disappear. Like the more you grow or the more successful you get, the more you want to achieve, or you keep aiming higher. So you're always going to be struggling with something. There's always going to be that a challenge. So that's why mindset and personal development are so important as business owners and entrepreneurs, because you need to learn how to navigate these things. Because it's not gonna like they're not gonna disappear. So just wanted to point that out. Because up to now, I still struggle sometimes. Um, but I think that the pivotal moment for me, because I started with Instagram in 2012. I had no clear direction. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no goals. My goal was just that I wanted to travel more and get paid for it. But I had like no plan of action. And it was like that really, really, until COVID, when I decided to start sharing my knowledge. So that was the first pivotal moment, when I decided, when I made the decision, firm decision, that I had something to share with the world, and I'm not gonna be ashamed or afraid of sharing it. And then 2020 up to 2024, the second pivotal moment, I would say, is when I started to invest time and money into my to improving my skills and knowledge, and also personal development. So I used to think before, oh, like I have all this knowledge and experience from my career, I don't need help. uh, Wrong. We all need help. We all need help to get to the next stage. We could do it on our own, but it's going to take 10 times longer. So I started to invest time in reading more business books, marketing books, personal development books, listening to podcasts, working with coaches, enrolling into courses. I've been investing a lot of time and money into my business and into myself, and that has been a massive change for and like a pivotal moment as well in my journey. So the second thing I would say is, don't be afraid to ask for help, or don't think that you have everything figured out, because there's something always that you don't have. And just find the people that are where you aim to be right now, and get their help.
Yeah, that is great advice. Yeah, you need to invest. You need to
Yes.
invest in help. And I think I know myself, having an ad agency background, and obviously you had corporate marketing background, you think that, well, I've done this, but you like growing a client-based business and a training business, or like course creation, It is possible. That's the thing, it's a huge billion-dollar business, but
Hmm.
like category. But that there's a particular skill set, and yeah, you need that support. Like you need people
Yeah,
to challenge you. You need people to aspire to, be like. And we all need that support. I totally agree with you. It's so important to say I need help and for it to be a good thing. I think in days gone by, maybe it wasn't such a great thing it wasn't looked on as a skill to go to acknowledge what you're not good at. I
yeah,
always think that really good leaders acknowledge where their weaknesses are and
absolutely.
get help in those areas. Yeah. Oh, that's great advice, Juan. Thank you so much. Um, is there a strategy you tried but either just didn't feel right, or it just didn't work, in terms of business?
Oh, great question. So many strategies that I think I have had more failures than successes, but I think that's what makes it's part of the whole journey, entrepreneurial journey as well. So we were talking about this, I think, before we started the recording, and I told you about Jeff Walker and the product launch formula. So that was one of the first concepts I got introduced to, and I was like, well, I'm gonna launch a it was a group coaching program. So that was after I had already started coaching people. I decided, okay, I want to do a group coaching program. I'm gonna use the product launch formula to launch it. It didn't work for me. Uh, no, I had zero signups. It was really frustrating because I dedicated so much time to work into it and to prepare the workshops and prepare the course, and I got like guest experts coming in and everything. So it was really, really frustrating. But since then I've had great successes and I've had massive failures as well. Um, Another thing that hasn't worked that well for me is so I have a membership and it's an open membership. So I'm normally enrolling people anytime. It's been hard to keep it up. Memberships are a lot of work, obviously, because you need to be producing consistent content for the members and showing up for the members. And I think that having it open s- all, um all the time makes it lose this kind of urgency that people really need in order to join. So this is something that I'm changing this year. So I'm not having open membership anymore. I'm opening and closing it a couple of times throughout the year. But again, as we were talking at the beginning, it's just this is something that's specific for my business and my audience, but maybe I know people that have memberships who have them open all year round and they get people in all the time. So you really need to find your own thing. You can copy other people's strategies or frameworks, but you need to also adapt them at some point to your own business and to your own audience because every business is different.
Yeah, yeah. And like I find not only just what you said, but also your personal life, because like that all requires energy, and
Yeah,
it depends on the cycle of your life, even within a year, that you're in, and
yeah.
making sure that equals the energy that you can bring to these things, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was having a really interesting conversation yesterday with this guy that was interviewing me for his podcast, and he asked me, "So Juan, you have a lifestyle business?" And I was like, "Well, it's an online education business, but can you explain?" And he was like, "Well, your biggest passion was travel or is travel, and you've built a business around this lifestyle that you wanted to have, which allows you to travel and work at the same time and visit your family and just you built your business." And I was like, "You're so right. Like I created a business around the lifestyle that I wanted to have." And I think that's really important for everyone listening right now is that you need to build your business around your lifestyle, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not going to be fulfilling, and you're going to find yourself again in a rut or where you were in when you were working with someone else. I don't know if you know Vanessa Lau.
Oh, go
Have you heard
on.
about?
Yeah, the name is familiar. Go on.
So she used to be this huge name in the online education industry.
Yeah.
She was one of the first people that did Instagram courses, teaching people how to get clients on Instagram. She grew like a $8 million business really fast in like 3 years. Massive success. The YouTuber, Instagram, she was on every channel, and she was someone that I really looked up to until last year. She made this announcement that she was retiring because she was burnout, because she ended up escaping the corporate world to build a business that she was the business of her dreams, which ended up being more consuming than her actual corporate jobs, and she couldn't handle it, and she retired. She
Yeah,
just
yeah,
quit.
yeah, yeah. No, and that's the part that I know. Actually, that's the part. Because I'm part of a community around like money mindset. So it was interesting what you said about new success levels, new issues, because Denise Dupple Thomas always says new level, new devil. And the familiarity that I have with Vanessa Lau is that story of her just going, no, do you know what? This isn't, to hell with it. It's not what I wanted. And that's so brave. It's so
Yeah,
brave to
absolutely.
go, no, this isn't what I dreamed of. I've created something, but I'm not in love with it anymore. So I'm out. And I just have to say, like, that's amazing, isn't it? Like
It was
it's
really
very brave.
eye-opening. Yeah, and it
Yeah.
was eye-opening for so many people because you aspire to be like her, and then you realize, do I really want to get to that point where I just quit everything, or you want to build something that is more sustainable and
Yeah.
that just you might not be making millions of dollars, but you are making a great living, you are traveling whenever you want, you're spending time, like you have free time to spend with your family, with your loved ones. I think that's more of the goal that we're all looking for. But
Yeah,
we
it's that
get,
first class life, but whatever is your version of the first class life, isn't it?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
because we're all different,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like my whole thing is spending time with my daughter and being available for her appointments, and just having the flexibility to do that, so
Exactly.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I know the answer to this now because you already said it. But building connection for me, like that has been central to the success of my business. The success of my business has definitely been networking in LinkedIn, and social media, like also Instagram. I dabble. I love social media so much. I have to admit,
Yeah.
I just, I find other people fascinating, so um that connection is so so important to me. So it is to you too. How does it affect your business?
It's like the number one thing in my business, relationships. It's like the most important part, and it's something that I really take pride on, that I'm always because I know like a lot of big entrepreneurs that, grow big audiences, they outsource their engagement or relationship building, whatever you want to call it. But for me, it's like I might not reply to you right away because I literally can't, but I do take the time to connect with everyone that sends me a message. And if I'm too busy, I'll just send them voice notes because it's faster. And as I was saying at the beginning, is something that we really feed on is those connections. And that's what social media is for connecting. The plus is that you can build businesses around those connections. But if we weren't building businesses, at least we're connecting with people that have similar likes, similar goals, similar visions, and I think that's really great because before we could just connect with the people that were around us, and sometimes those people had nothing to do with us or like were not like us at all.
Yeah, so true. Like that is what I love about our online world. And that's what like I'm a very early days Instagrammer and that's what I loved about early days pre-meta Instagram was just seeing other parts of the world I never had seen before, you know, like almost like seeing what someone in Japan was having for dinner. Like that was I found that fascinating because I was like, that's amazing. How would I ever get to see that? Or I wouldn't, you know,
Yeah,
I never would get that insight without this technology. It's fascinating. It's given us such a, you know, a more connected world, I think, you know.
exactly.
Um, well, my mantra then is like act like a human on social media. This is kind of leading
I
to
love
the
it.
that's my whole thing. Like I bang on about it all the time, like with my clients. I'm like, you know, stop acting like a robot on social media. Just act like a human. If somebody reply like puts a comment up, then reply. Like if so, you know, like act like a human, act like a human. Do you have a mantra either in your personal life or your business life that like you share with the world or with your clients?
Actually, I don't. I should create one. I should create one. I'm always telling people that, you know, to work smarter, not harder, but I don't think that's a mantra, like a powerful mantra. But you've got me thinking about maybe creating one like that's very unique to my business and my brand.
That can be your challenge. You will have to send it to me.
I will.
I'm gonna do a follow-up post going, this is what Juan's mantra is after the interview. That'll be great. Um, but thank you. And then like what's your dream for your business for the next year?
For the next year or for the future? Because
Whichever you'd rather.
I would love for the academy to become a place where people join and they can really learn how to be better entrepreneurs, not only Instagram marketing or AI, because now I'm doing a lot of AI, but how to build brands and businesses and have other experts sharing their knowledge and sharing their experiences and being this like community where people can basically educate themselves from A to Z on how to become business owners, entrepreneurs, and create the lifestyle or the life of their dreams. So having a more holistic approach to entrepreneurship.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I'm in. I'm in. Uh, okay, come on, tell me, how can people work with you then, Juan?
Ooh, my favorite question. I'm joking. So I'm really excited because at the end of this month, I am opening doors to my signature program. It's called the AI-powered Creator-preneur. This is a program where we teach people how to build their brand, create content to market their brand and business, and grow their business, but it's all powered with AI-driven marketing strategies, AI-driven tools, and to make it more effective, efficient, and faster. So we're opening doors at the end of the month. I'm going to be hosting a free masterclass over the next 2 weeks. I still need to decide on the date, but it's going to be free for anyone who wants to join, and it's going to be like a little glimpse of what you can get inside of this program. So yeah, I'm excited about this. So if anyone is interested, I'm sure they'll be able to find more information in
Yeah, look, I'm going to
the
share it. I will share it with this video. So wherever you're watching it, either look up or look down. We will put the link to the masterclass and to the course. So depending on when people watch, because I know some people won't watch us live, but when you watch back this video, you will be able to access either the masterclass or jump on into the course. So thank you so much for talking to me today, Juan. I really enjoyed it. And super plug is that I've done the course, the AI course, and it has just transformed my content process. It's just, you know, and full confession, I haven't finished the course. There's just so much to it that I'm like, juicy. I'm going to go back and do some more and just lean into it and it's what I love about it is you've got that human connection because it's so important to you and so you're mixing that human connection with that efficiency of the AI and I think that's where content creation heaven.
Yeah,
Because without
that's
the
the goal.
overwhelm begins, you know. So
Yeah,
good for
yeah.
you. Congratulations. And thanks so much for talking to me today.
Thank you for having me today.